We didn't ask the Ouija board anything. It answered anyway. The planchette started moving before any of us touched it. I know how that sounds. Every Ouija story starts with someone swearing they didn't push it, but my hands were in my lap. So were Jenna's and Marcus's. We hadn't even finished arguing about whether this was a stupid idea when the board began spelling. STP. Jenna laughed, sharp and nervous. Okay, who's messing with us? No one answered. The candle flickered as if something had breathed on it. We sat on the floor of my flat, lights off, windows closed, the room smelling faintly of dust and burnt matches. It was just after midnight, Marcus's idea, because he said that was when it was supposed to work. The planchette slid again. An O-T-Y-E-T. That's enough, I said, reaching forward. The planchette snapped to the center of the board, knocking the candle over. Wax hissed as the room fell dark, lit only by a street light glow. Something shifted in the corner. Not a shape, just the sense that it was no longer empty. Okay, Marcus said, joke's over. I turned on my phone's flashlight. Everything looked normal, too normal. When I lowered it, the planchette had moved again. H-E-L-L-O. Jenna's hands shook. We didn't say hello. The air thickened, pressure building in my ears. Our breathing sounded too loud. Who are you? Marcus whispered. The planchette moved slowly. N-O-T-W-H-O. The candle flared back to life. The corner of the room swallowed the light, and I knew better than to look directly at it. What do you want? Jenna asked. The planchette circled, then spelled Y-O-U-D-I-D-N-T-A-S-K. The temperature dropped instantly, my breath fogging. We should stop, I said. You're supposed to say goodbye. The planchette scraped hard. T-O-O-L-A-T-E. Every light in the flat flickered on. In the brightness, I saw fingerprints burned into the board around the planchette. Too many and overlapping, pressed deep into the surface as if the cardboard had softened just long enough to remember them. Some were too long, some bent at impossible angles. Jenna screamed. The planchette flew to goodbye, cracking the board. Then the lights went out. When they came back, the board was normal again. No prints, no cracks, no planchette, just cheap cardboard. We cleaned up in silence, avoiding the board, avoiding each other, and then went our separate ways. I lay awake until morning, replaying the sound of the planchette scraping wood, trying to convince myself it had all been a shared panic. At 3:17 a.m., my phone buzzed. A notification from an app I didn't have. Voice memo, new file. Static filled the speaker at first, then breathing. 3 slow breaths that weren't mine, recorded far too clearly. Then a voice, close to my ear, intimate, like someone leaning over my bed. We said